Any voyager may be lost at sea, like John Cabot. Nobody can teach the geography of the undiscovered. Hello everybody and welcome to today's Windrose video. I am so excited to have finally found this island because as you can see, it has an ancient grave on it. The deal with the ancient graves is that they are from a quest called The Mystery of the Expedition, and I have been so wanting to finish it because it involves a little bit of actual real-world history that is mentioned in the game. So the deal with these graves is that you talk to the ghost of Juan de la Cosa. In the real world, Juan de la Cosa was a Castilian cartographer. He was the first cartographer to include the Americas, very crudely done, in a map. So the story here is that he and Columbus have been scheming against Davy Jones, which also excites me because in Alexander's notes, the guy who you dig at the Red Ribbons, he mentions Davy Jones's army too. So to me, it seems like the game is trying to tie together the idea of fighting Davy Jones and his undead army, which of course runs parallel to the Blackbeard story of current times in the game. But I am hoping and crossing my fingers that this means that maybe we will see a mystical version of Davy Jones. I mean, he represents the sea, but I think it would be really cool to also, oops, I completely messed that up. I think it would be really cool to actually have to fight Davy Jones, you know? So let me let Truffles take the brunt of this alpha wolf and I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, I should have bandaged. Definitely should have bandaged. I'm not bleeding anymore, but I'll bandage anyway. So this is why I can't talk about things I'm excited about while also fighting, because I completely lose focus. Where's it going? I completely lose focus and set the... Oh, I dodged that. But anyway, I set forests on fire. Get him, Truffle, while I bandage again. Truffle is so good at just letting you take a moment, but I need to get on this wolf and actually... There we go. So all of my parrying buffs have been activated. The wolf is staggered, and there we go. Not my finest combat, but hey, as I said, I was excited, okay? Take it easy on me. So, yes, fighting Davy Jones. We're probably going to talk to Juan de la Cosa now. The other two graves I found just get into that story a little bit more. So we're going to see where this takes us. Before I do that, though, I want to empty some things out of my inventory because in this game, if you get a reward for quests, they have to go in your inventory. So if you don't have any inventory space, they just drop on the ground. Okay, let's talk to Juan, I assume. Old grave. An old grave lies before you. As soon as you come near it, the wound in your chest burns and your vision blurs. So that's really interesting to me. The wound in your chest burns because it has to do with the undead, and this also has to do with Davy Jones and the undead. I'm wondering what the connection is between Blackbeard. Did he make some kind of a pact with Davy Jones? I don't know. The ghost's loud, angry voice drowns out the ringing in your ears. Here he is. Here's Juan. Jamie, or is it Jaime? I pulled you out of a pit of debt and made you my first mate, and you repaid me by conspiring with the enemy, betraying the order, betraying the faith. The order. So, does this have to do with the spread of Catholicism, the spread of religion to the West? Whatever Jones promised you, it was a lie. Your eternal life didn't last long. I put you in your grave today, and tomorrow I'm sending Jones to hell. Hell has been waiting for him. The other thing I should mention is that Columbus thinks that the priestess could help against Davy Jones. Maybe we'll see if that was the case or not, if she actually did, before we took her down. The echo of the voice slowly fades. While the vision is still fresh in your mind, you hastily write down everything you heard. All that remains before you is a forgotten grave and an inscription. Okay, so we now have Jaime Lopez, 1400 something to 1500 and something, undone by his ambitions, died by his captain's hand twice. So clearly he turned into something undead if he could die twice. Very interesting. Okay, let's see. Let's see what our updated notes say in the journal. Mystery of the expedition. Find the expedition ship. Seems this isn't the first time the archipelago has dealt with the undead. Yeah, here we go. Here comes the parallel between the two storylines. A ghost near one of the graves mentioned heading to a meeting place near Turtle Island. That could mean Tortuga. I'll try to find his ship. The undead likely stopped it before it reached port. Very interesting. So it says find his ship. If it means his ship, does that mean we're looking for Juan de la Cosa's actual ship? That's pretty cool if so. Okay, I still need to dig here though. Where's my shovel? Here it is. Okay, looks like this is a nice lump to dig. See what we have. I see the little glitter of gold and booty. Old skeleton. Executioner. What is this? The blade of this halberd bears the memory of every criminal executed for the glory of the Spanish crown. This is cool that we're getting more of the Spanish tie-in, considering the Ashlands are coming with what looked like conquistadors in the trailer. My dog is having a puppy dream. Oh, Junior. Sorry if you can hear that. Killing enemies grants stacks of decimation effect. Each stack increases your critical hit chance. Ooh, that's kind of a good one. And look at that, level 14. Wow. I only have one more level left to go before I've maxed out completely. Alright, so it looks like we are headed to Tortuga. Headed to Tortuga to try and find this ship of the undead, which I love. I love the idea of this. I really enjoy these little side stories we can go on in Windrose, and I'm so glad I still have this one to get through. I've missed the quests. Tortuga was calling, but I ended up finding the ship elsewhere. Alright, here we are in Tortuga. I'm gonna summon the Argonautica, and we are going to head out in search of this ghost ship. Here we go. Let's see if we can jump on board from there. Nice. Alright. And here we go. Setting off into the foggy mists. Now I don't see any quest markers showing up. Oh, it's all the way up here? This is nowhere near Tortuga. Okay, we're going up here then. That's interesting. I figured it would be right off Tortuga. Okay. New plan then. So we must head north in a little bit. Okay, as we sail towards our destination, I'm going to go ahead and put the last 3 points in agility. So now technically my agility stat is maxed, which is awesome. And I don't have any talent points to put into my talent tree. But my agility is finally maxed. I've been waiting for this day. This is a great day all in all. We've got the mystery of the expedition on our doorstep. And then also, I've maxed out my agility. Very cool. I'm kind of curious if that island is the shipwreck. I mean, unless it's an undead ship currently floating on the waters, it would make sense that it is a shipwreck because this whole storyline happened in the early 1500s versus the timeline we are in now, which is the 1700s. So it wouldn't surprise me if this island, yeah, look, the shipwreck is where the quest marker is. Okay. So, this might be the kind of thing that I could try and shoot my cannons at to take down some of the enemies before I get in there. Let's see if we can take some shots from the ship and reach the shore. I do not want to anger those raiders, though. Let's see if we can, oops, not crash. Okay, what do we see? I'm not seeing, I see some crabs on the shore. What I'm gonna do is pull around to the back side of the shipwreck and I'm gonna set up a tent just in case I do need to respawn. So I'm just gonna, uh-oh. You know what, I'll just hop off here. Just gonna hop off here. I'm not gonna risk getting fired upon by those freighters that were over there. I love how this ship looks. I love the stern. Okay, so we have found the ship. We got 100 experience points for that, which is pretty nice. Now let me just set up a tent and then we're gonna go in there and explore. Okay, here's the tent. We have hit the respawn. I'm gonna go ahead and put my crit elixir on. And let's get into it, see what we can find. So my journal is telling me that I need to search the shipwreck. The ship truly was badly wrecked here. It's surrounded by the drowned. I should clear the decks and look around. Okay, so just keep in mind that this shipwreck is technically from the 1500s. What's over here? Wait, there's... Oh, it's split in half. I see. Okay. So half of it is up here. Interesting. And the other half is over here. So it was split in half. I wish there was like a giant sea creature that could split it in half. You know what I mean? How cool would that be if it was bopped by a kraken? I really want there to be a kraken. Okay. Let's get Truffle out and start working on these thorn fiddlers. These are pretty much at level for me. So this is going to be more of a challenging fight, I think, than most of my others. Uh-oh, I'm going to start getting stuff flung at me. Oh, and... Oh! Okay. Nice. So that was pretty good. Alright. Let's get reload going. Or I might just do that. Just do that. Dua Lipa, he's gonna hurl, and we're gonna run. Okay. And, ooh, his nasty stuff that he throws hurts quite a bit. Oh, I've got... Jeez! Is all they know how to do fling sand? Oh, that took my shot. Alright. Regroup. Reload, regroup. Alright. Bad idea. There we go. Alright, good parries there. Did not make that parry as well. This is tricky. Shoot. Gotta get ready to parry this. Nice. Okay, my buffs are going, but I need a second. Okay. So my extra damage from that let me take him down without having to parry. Let's try and get this swollen drowned out of the way. Looks like that damage bled over into the other guy. Dua Lipa, parry. Dua Lipa. Ooh, just kidding. Get bopped. Okay, he's gonna run, which means I can... There we go. And there we go. Perfect. Ooh, I didn't realize he did a fourth hit. Okay. Shoot. Man, this is hard. Okay, so he's down. Now we have to deal with Big Boy. Almost got him. I'm gonna sneak in there and do this. Nice. Okay. That was all of them down. That was a battle. Now remember, I've been fighting lower level stuff to try and get that other quest done, so that was quite a challenge for me. Alright, let's see what's in this ship. Juan de la Cosa's ship. Do I have my lantern? I do, and it has just enough light to get me through this. Juan de la Cosa's journal, paintings, watches, and globe. I wonder if this is going to put me over the comfort level that I need. Okay, let's keep poking around here. I bet there's more to find in the other half of his ship. What's up here? Probably just a nice view. And I'm going to turn off my lantern so I don't waste the animal fat in there. Let's see if we can jump up here. Okay, so we have the other half of the ship to search. I assume. Alright, let's get this thorn fiddler out of here. Let's get Truffles out. And let's see what kind of a fight this is going to be. Alright. I'm just going to go ahead and brute force that one down. And this is just a regular old drown. Come on, Truffle, help me out here. Okay. Alright, he's knocked. And if I Dua Lipa, that should finish him. There we go. I say Dua Lipa, by the way, because not only the celebrity Dua Lipa, but when you do shift and left click, you Dua Lipa. And I said that without realizing it sounded like the celebrity, and so I've had a bit of fun with it as I go through the game. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else in here? So we are below deck. We are in the middle, and we are up top, and there is a chest here. Silver ingot, 20 silver ingot, nice. That was quite a bit of silver. Okay, so 50 experience points. What does my quest say to do? Okay, so I still haven't found exactly what I needed to find. Very interesting. I thought I found what I needed. So yeah, look, there's one more thing that hasn't been found yet. Let's see, maybe there's like a skeleton around here. We've got the chests, but maybe there's a skeleton. Let me just zoom around the front of this half of the shipwreck. I'm not going to bother with the crabs for now. Alright, so my quest marker definitely is pointing me back towards the other half. So there's just a boat here. Anything on the boat? No, that's just a plain old shipwreck. Okay, let's see what else I'm possibly missing here. I haven't looked around front of the ship yet for anything that's glittering. What am I missing? Closed scallop shell. Is there anything else glittering? We got the chest. Oh, there's something up there. See that? Is it up a level? I think it's up a level. Okay. Let's turn the lantern off. Okay, it was up here. I missed this completely. Nice. Okay, so we're in the cabin. The captain's cabin, I assume. There we go. And yes. Oh no, it's the bones of Juan. Oh man. Okay. An old skeleton has lain for years amid the wreck of his ship. Time has bleached his bones and reduced his once fine clothes to rags. As you draw closer, a familiar voice reaches your ears. The priestess's medallion worked, but there are too many of them. We won't hold out for long. I believe the Order will find a way. Jones's days roving the seas are numbered. Columbus will find an answer. He always does. The echo of the voice fades. It seems the man whose ghost you saw found his final resting place here. In the skeletal hand, you spot a familiar medallion, its stone cracked. Your father once gave you one just like it. What's our character's story? Like, throughout the game, it kind of just feels like our character has just been like a little insert into whatever story's going on. But if our character's father gave us a medallion just like this one, maybe we actually are more special than the gameplay so far has made it appear we are. Okay, so broken ancient medallion. We got a broken ancient medallion? Okay, this is just too cool. Hold on, I need to turn my lamp off, and we need to look at all of the stuff we have available to us. Okay, we've got some stuff to read. We've got Captain Juan de la Cosa's journal, and we've got Skeleton of Juan de la Cosa. Let's read the captain's journal first. Alright, here we go. September 1500 and something, Western Sea. Christopher ordered us ashore in the swamps, among ancient burial grounds, to meet with the priestess. I don't care that she serves the local demons, witch or devil herself. If this woman can help us deal with Jones and his army of risen dead, I'm willing to strike a bargain. Well, this is so exciting. I wonder if we're gonna learn about like anything Davy Jones related. Maybe something we'll see. Early October. We lost 5 today, Esteban among them. That was one of the graves that we found. At night, the drowned crawled out of the water, climbed the hull, and killed the sentries. How are we to press on without a navigator? Mid-October, 1500s, something. Jamie mutinied. Jamie, I don't know. He made a pact with Jones behind our backs, sold his hide for a promise of immortality. That sounds awfully familiar. Fool, I sent him to the other world with a shot through the heart. He rose again, and I had to cut his throat to lay him down for good. The dead keep attacking, but we must see this mission through. November 1500 and something. At last, we found the priestess. I don't know how Risto even stumbled upon her, but that rogue has always had luck on his side. Keen spoke little Spanish, but she understood why we'd come. She gave us medallions, saying they would protect us once, and only once. I'd have preferred solid armor and a reliable blade. A strange woman. She looks young, yet death lurks in her eyes. The dead have come for our souls again. Let's see if those fancy medallions really work. So the medallions will keep your soul from being claimed, maybe? So look, here it is. Broken ancient medallion. Here's a broken heirloom medallion. This is really interesting. Okay. And then here is the skeleton of Juan de la Cosa's note. It's very short. The priestess's medallion worked, but there are too many of them. We won't hold out for long. I believe the order will find a way. Jones's days on the seas are numbered. Columbus will come up with something. He always does. So we already read that on his body. That was it. That was the quest. So let's read the summary. And look, now my recommended character level is on par with it because I finally hit level 14. Anyway. Among the Spaniard's belongings was a medallion identical to the one my father gave me before my first voyage. Doesn't seem like a coincidence. How did my family come to possess it, and what was the order Juan de la Cosa mentioned? Perhaps one day I'll find the answers. This feels like something really integral to the storyline, this part. Some of the other quests have just felt like little side missions that, you know, like the murder, like the, where was it? So Sacrificial Lamb. This one felt like just like a little side quest that didn't matter much, whereas the mystery of the expedition feels like it matters a ton. And speaking of that, all of my quests are now complete, which was one of my goals, obviously, before we get into the game's new content. This was so fun. I think this probably had to have been one of my favorite quests, and I'm so glad that it ended up the way that it did. And now we have a little bit extra to think about in regards to our character's story in the grand scheme of Windrose's story and the fight against Blackbeard's undead. So it almost seems like Davy Jones was the old threat regarding the undead and the amulets, but now Blackbeard is a threat in a different way. Blackbeard definitely isn't the sea itself, whereas Davy Jones was like a metaphor for the sea and Davy Jones's locker, and I really want to see how the story is going to connect those two ideas. So anyway, we did it. We found all of the ancient graves. We found Juan's final resting place here on this beautiful island out in the middle of Blackbeard ships and fleets. I hope you enjoyed this journey. This seems like the end of the Windrose story for now, as far as my gameplay on the channel. All I have to do before the new content comes out is finish some building and level up fully to level 15, along with leveling up the ship to level 15, and then that's about it for me. It has been such a fun journey, and I am so glad that I got to end my official Windrose early access story, pre-Ashlands, with the mystery of the expedition. So, along with Windrose, the complete playlist, I have a Subnautica complete playlist that you can watch if you are interested in more survival stuff. It's really creepy. It's like chill but creepy at the same time, that playlist. And then I also have a little bit rougher Grounded playlist if you're interested in watching a blind playthrough of Grounded. I almost make it through the whole game, but I stopped short and explained why I stopped short. Anyway, that is it for me today, guys. I am going to keep doing Windrose update videos. I'm also going to post a build video when I do get around to building what I would like to build. So anyway, I hope you all are enjoying your games, particularly if you have been keeping up with and playing Windrose. That is it for me today, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, commenting, and continuing to join me on these fun Windrose journeys. It's been about 23 episodes of just sheer fun, and I cannot wait to see what Kraken Express does next. So as I said, that is it for me today, you guys. Enjoy your games, and I will see you all in the next video, whatever game that may be.